The next one is catching basics. Let me deal with some things here involving catching. Now, at a young age, of course, you're at the mercy of whoever wants to volunteer to catch. It's not a position you're going to get a lot of volunteers, but if you have kids who are catching, some very basic things you want to do, and a lot of it has to do with the basic stance. A lot of kids, when I see little kids catching, they will start off in this position and try to catch. And if you think of it as a pyramid, the widest part of a pyramid is the base, and that's why the pyramid never topples over, because it's a wide base. Catching is the same way. If my feet are close together and my heels are off the ground, like a lot of little catchers are, they have horrible balance. So the only time a catcher would ever be in this position is when he is giving signs to a pitcher. Once that pitcher is all set, he's going to hop his feet out, and a catcher is always going to be flat-footed when they catch. So I give the sign, and I hop out, and my feet, the outside of my feet, are the widest part of my body. That's the triangle, that's the pyramid, that's the base. Now I have very good balance. I'm not going to get knocked over by a pitch, and I'm able to receive the ball well. Now, when I'm working with young catchers, I will tell them it's like driving a car with one hand. Now, they're not, they don't drive, but they've seen people drive with one hand. Basically, the analogy is if you're going to drive and steer with one hand, your hand's going to do this. And that's pretty much all a catcher is going to do. Nice and relaxed with his hand, with his thumb out to the side, and that's pretty much how he's going to catch. So if it's an inside pitch, he's going to rotate here. Outside pitch here, he is nice and relaxed as if he is driving a steering wheel with one hand. And that's pretty much the basics in terms of receiving. The next thing is with little kids, I want to keep them safe. And this bare hand is a hand that's going to get a lot of foul balls off it. And so here's the trick of keeping this hand safe. First thing is the thumb always goes inside the hand, and the hand goes around the thumb in a very loose fist. If the kid tightens his fist and a ball hits his hand, there's no give, and that ball is going to win that battle. If I have a very loose fist, like I'm going to knock on a door, if the ball hits my hand, my fingers are going to give a little bit, and it's going to hurt, but chances are good you're not going to break anything because you have a little bit of give in there. Now there's two options with a catcher on where he puts that bare hand. If there is runners on base, I will tell him to take that fist that I just showed you and put it right behind the glove. Because if the ball is hit, if it's a foul ball, it's probably going to go over my glove or under my glove, and my hand's going to be protected. If there is nobody on base, then I'll protect it even more, and I'll put it right behind my foot, and that's going to be protected from foul balls. A lot of kids make the mistake is they will put that bare hand back here. Okay? Now, your balance gets all out of whack if my hand is behind my back like this. So it's either behind the glove or behind the ankle, and that's how a catcher's going to be. So always flat-footed when they are receiving. The feet are close together, heels are off the ground, only when they are giving a sign. Now if there's runners on base and the catcher has to deal with guys stealing, he is just going to widen his feet a little bit more than he was before, so that it's very easy for him to stand up. It's basically taking that same athletic position that a hitter is going to use, that a pitcher is eventually going to be in, with his feet apart, and all he's going to do is squat down, and that's what he's going to be, because it's very easy to stand up and make a throw from there. So just some basic things in terms of catching. The last one is what I call tag and bag basics. In terms of tagging, a lot of kids will tag by catching the ball and doing a sweep tag. And we want to try to get kids out of that habit because it takes longer to do. You want to tell kids that when they tag a guy to base, they want to think of it as a capital V. They're going to catch straight down and straight up. That's a capital V. If I sweep, I'm creating a U, and this right here is longer to do than if I waited, caught the ball here, and went straight down and straight up. So a capital V and not a sweep tag. Often if the kid's not good with his glove and the ball, when he sweeps, that's when you'll see the ball fly right out, and then the runners keep going there. So straight down and straight up is the basic way to tag a runner at any base. The next one is bag basics, and here I'm talking about first base. I mentioned in my first session here, when it comes to catching, that you want kids to get in the habit of stepping to the ball, and they're just about in baseball always going to step with a foot that is on their glove side. Well, the same principle applies to a first baseman who is stretching for a ball. When the ball is hit, he's real quick going to get to the bag and put both of his heels near the bag. When the ball is thrown, he then is going to step with his glove side foot and make the catch. Okay? If I step with my glove side foot, I can stretch farther out than if I stepped with my other foot. And that's why you'll see first basemen always stretch with their glove side foot, because they can get out there a little bit farther. Now, the biggest mistake I see with little kids at first base is they stride too soon. You'll see a kid get to first base, he'll stride, and then he'll wait for the throw, which is fine if the throw is right here. But if the throw's over here, now he's screwed. Throws over here, now he's screwed. And that's when the ball gets by. So the trick with first basemen is to get them to wait for the ball to be thrown before you step. So my heels are near the bag. If the ball is thrown over here, I just step over here and make the catch. If the ball's right at me, I step to the ball here. If the ball's thrown over here, I step over here. So it's real simple. Just step with the same foot that the glove's on, and we wait for that throw to be made before we step, so we're not caught off guard there.